Okay, hello again. This is my second time starting this vlog. I started to say some stuff I didn't want to say. Anyway, I had my job interview. That went really, really well. I got this job. I am really excited about it. Problem is, I'm also really nervous because I need to find a place to stay in DC. And I can't afford to pay a security deposit on an apartment the first month's rent right now because, well, I don't want to give up my apartment in Richmond. I did put in my 2 weeks at my other job. My last day will be either Saturday or Sunday, tomorrow or Sunday. And I am really, really nervous because if this new job doesn't work out, I am unemployed. And I can't move back to my parents' place. They live in a really horrible, horrible part of the country. And so I don't know what I'll do if this doesn't work out. But cross your fingers, pray, do whatever for me. This has to work out. But that was great. And even if it doesn't work out, I went on an interview as Natalie, and not the first one I went on, but I got the job. I really impressed them. And I'll be working for gay and trans rights. And I do kind of want to go in the direction of working for trans rights because we're kind of the bastard stepchildren of the LGBT movement. No one ever really talks about our issues or our special needs, especially when it comes to rights. And I do kind of want to go in that direction, and this is a real start. And I think this is a risk I needed to take, but I'm really, really nervous about it. Then when I was in DC, I saw my old friend, and no, I can't stay at her place. I'm looking for a couch to crash on. We've had a really intense relationship, and we've known each other for about 17 years, and she dumped me about 2 years ago, and cut me out of her life, and we didn't talk for a long time. We started writing letters about when I got my name change, which was February, late February, early March of this year. And so we started writing letters, and this is the first time I've seen her in 2 years. And and it was really interesting. I guess the one thing I really wanted to talk about is how how much different it was between us. Like we always used to have this energy, and I don't think I was even all that aware of it. There's this male female energy, and I used to kind of I don't well there's always this male female energy, and it wasn't there anymore, and that was really in a way it was really kind of a relief because I did not want that with her, and that was gone, and it was kind of I guess any attraction she had had for me wasn't really there. I mean, I could tell she still really cared about me, and we were really close for a long time. But we've also definitely gone our own ways, and I mean, it's kind of I don't know how to describe how it felt in comparison to how it had always felt before with her, but it was kind of I don't know. We have shared a lot of experiences together, and but it was different, and that was I guess that's kind of in a way that's kind of the first loss that I've had really, and and that's I mean and yeah I would say it's a loss. It's not something I particularly wanted, but it's not something I'm particularly disappointed about. But that was definitely different. Um, and it's really strange how because it's really strange how people perceive you differently and how she perceived me differently because I'm a different person. I've had a lot of new experiences and I've grown up a lot. I mean, you can't transition without your perspective shifting and without changing. And so I'm definitely but in some regards I'm still the same person. It's like she still knows a lot about me, and I don't know, it was a good thing. Okay, now what else did I want to talk about? Hmm, Work. I do want to talk about work. Now, I like where I'm working now. Basically, I like it a lot more than I thought I would. I really love my coworkers. Um, One of the reasons, or the reason I started looking for another job, because I kind of wanted to stay in a job that I knew, and I quit my insurance job because it was just too much for me to learn a new career and a new gender at the same time. But one of the things I liked about this job was as a job that I know how to cook, and I can just go in there. I mean, I've been in restaurants since I was 14, and I could just go in there and do the job, and that's what I wanted. Well, I started getting a lot of unwanted stress at work. For one thing, I think I'm an easy scapegoat because I took over doing the prep as opposed to lying, and all of a sudden, anytime there was any complaint about anything, they kind of figured out a way to blame it on me. Um, and then the owner took me aside, and he sat me down in his office, and he was like, "Look, you can't change the recipes, and they tell me that when you're up there, you're just doing whatever you want to do. It's like you have 2 weeks to shape up, or I'll hire someone who can do the job." And I took that as it is time for me to look for another job. And I'll tell you that it wasn't totally unexpected because from what I went into transition with tons and tons and tons of research. I mean, years of research because I started really looking into transition, reading every story that I could possibly read about transition, like at the age of 12. Um, yeah, I am really, really intensely transsexual. But one thing that it seems to happen a lot of people end up losing their jobs. I think part of it is like I think you get subjected to sexism again for the first time because people like how someone will be late for like by 5 minutes every day and it's never a problem, and then they go male to female and all of a sudden they're like just super super late and it's like a huge problem. And I think that is a part of it, but I think it's a lot more complicated than that. I think it's also I think in some way it's like trans prejudice. I mean, I don't want to flat out say it is because I mean I know the owner of this place is actually a much better person than that. But I think it's kind of like just this un, unconscious thing where I don't know, like people think I'm doing this. Like I wasn't changing the recipes, but the owner's not there that much. But I think maybe he thought that I was changing the recipes because obviously since I'm a transsexual, I'm such an individual and I don't like to do anything anyone else's way, which isn't true. I mean, I can see how people would think that, but that's not true because I don't like to stand out. I really don't. I want to fit in. I don't like being, you know, I don't like being different. No one likes being different. And I'm not. I mean, I'm very very transsexual, and I'm doing something that does make me stand out. And I am actually a lot more confident now than I ever was as a guy. That's one thing my friend told me. She did tell me when she saw me that I was a lot more confident. So I think that was also part of it. And so those are kind of the reasons why I was leaving my work. And the last thing I want to say about work, I'm going to do another video. The last thing I want to say about work is that I noticed today the person that I've been struggling and struggling and struggling to get full time for the last since I quit my insurance job. And the one thing, like when they moved me to prep, the person they hired to replace me on the line got 40 hours, where there was never enough hours for me to get that. And I thought maybe it was because he was going to be manager or whatever. And then the person, now that they have replaced me as prep, that person also has 40 hours. Or no, actually the person that they're hiring because I'm leaving is getting 44 hours. And person they're moving to prep is getting 40 hours. So I kind of have to think. I mean, I think it's time for me to leave this job. Um, but I'm very stressed out and nervous. So anyway, I'm going to do another video right now, and I'm going to stop this.